come up into my layer manager and just use the create new layer from selection. Click on that, creates a new layer, and in there are my 4 planes. I'm just going to rename that to reference. And what I'm also going to do while they're selected like this, I'm going to right click object properties and just make sure show frozen in gray is unticked. Otherwise, if I freeze these are going to turn gray and I'm not going to be able to see my image. So I just untick that, go okay. And so now in my layer manager, I can just freeze those, and now I can't select them. I can't accidentally select them, bump them, or move them. And I'll make sure that the tick is back at the top. Close down my layer manager, and I am now ready to animate this character. Looks like I might need to just come into my layer. You can see that flickering that's happening there. If you just go into your reference and unfreeze it, grab this guy and slightly move him forward. They're just sharing exactly the same space or 3D space. So now that I've moved it, it stops the flickering in the viewport. You can also, in your material editor, is go back to the parent level and just bring up the self-illumination a little bit, and that just stops it from going dark as you rotate around. First thing I'm going to do is create my viewports the way I want them. So I'm just going to right click up here where it says shaded. It might say wireframe for you, but this section here, right click, configure, and then go to your layout. And I'm just going to do a 2 view side by side. Just go okay. We'll pull this across to give us a bit more space, and you'll see that I now have 2 views when I look at the multi-view process. This one I'm going to make my front view, and this one is going to be my left view. So I'm going to work in those 2 views. And just to make it a little easier for you to see, I'm just going to go into my reference and bring my opacity down to say 50%. That's going to make it slightly transparent, make it easier for you to see what is the robot and what is not. The big red ring at the bottom, which is my character, I'm character master. I'm not going to need that for now, so I'm going to right click and I'm going to hide by selection, so that I can easily, from a left view, select my feet controllers. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use auto key to do our work here. The way auto key works, if I'm, say, at frame 24 and I grab my foot controller here and move it forward, it automatically creates a keyframe at 24, but you'll notice here it also creates a keyframe at 0. What you have to be aware of is if you move something in auto key mode on any other frame other than 0, it will create both keyframes, and the first keyframe is its original position. And that's going to work fine for us. So you always start with the top of the chain, and in this instance that's our center of gravity. That is the highest thing on the chain. The only thing higher is our master character controller, which we just hid. So therefore the next one is the center of gravity.